What is up, 24/7 Buff Fandemonium? It's your boy Swank right here on a beautiful Tuesday night for what else but the K-Gun. It is training camp eve, everybody. The players have reported. Stefan Diggs is nestled by his fireplace with care, and we're getting ready for football. Our boy Patrick Hughes let us know this is the last couple days without NFL football for a very long time, and it made me smile from ear to ear earlier today. We're going to get into some transactions that happened today, some people on the pup, a couple new players coming in. We're going to get into all your training camp needs here. We also compliments of Dr. Bruce, have a couple tickets to this Sunday's training camp to give away. So if you shared the event earlier on today on Facebook or Twitter, you're on the Wheel of Destiny or the Wheel of Doom or the Wheel of Death, however you want to look at it. And we're going to get that rolling here in a minute. Also, I got a little rattle the reads, and we're going to talk a little bit about Buffalo Bills last year's past, I think. So buckle up, kiddos. We're going to hit this intro and get at it. Here it is, and here we are, me and Mr. Scooter, my goddamn gooter. What's up, Scoot?
Hey, what's up, Bills Mafia, Buff fan base, FLX Mafia, Pandemonium. We got them all over the place, Swank. Love it. Join the conversation, join the Stampede, guys. Season is here. People are reporting to camp. It's exciting times. I've been waiting for this since February. Let's do it.
Ooh, me too, man. I mean, it's just it's one of those things. People start reporting to camp, it starts getting real. You start getting those reports. Everybody on WGR is like, well, our vacation's it's over now. It's been like a great 3 months and it's over. I don't know. I'm very pumped to talk today. You might notice that Jerry is not here yet. He is going to be here. He was here earlier, and we're hoping that he returns.
It's as Patrick Hughes will suggest, he's probably holding out. It's kind of like the Saquon Barkley holdout, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to negotiate a contract, but really,
his position has become completely useless. Is that what you're saying?
But did you see what he signed for? He basically signed for a $908,000 signing bonus.
I don't like that you just glossed over my joke. I don't like that at all. It was a very funny joke, and you just glossed right over it. Somebody help me out here. Yeah, I saw what they did. It seemed kind of ridiculous because now he can play again on the franchise tag next year because he didn't actually play under it this year. So the running back drama continues around the NFL. Let's get over here and see who we got. We got Patrick Hughes, our brother from another mother. What's up, Patrick? We got Lonnie Cook. If she's on, that means that she's probably going to win the Wheel of Destiny. So watch out, everybody. Chris Christian, what's up, Chris? How you doing, brother? We got our boy Rob Mullen. It's Bedlam. It's Pandemonium. It's 24/7 Buff Fandemonium. I love it. We should put that on a shirt, dude. He says it enough. We really should put it on a shirt.
Here comes Brother Jerry.
Oh my goodness, Brother Jerry! Look at him. He doesn't look like a deer in headlights at all. Look at him, Jerry. What's up, man? Tell the people where you been. What's been going on?
Soccer night with the kiddos. Bath time for the kiddos. Everything for the kiddos. Got to get that done before I can come have some fun, guys. I'm here representing FLX Mafia between Seneca and Tkgr Lake. Go Bills. Let's do it.
It's about damn time, Jerry. 2 weeks in a row, I tell you. I tell you. It's good to have you back, brother. We got John Johns. Good evening, Mafia. Time for another great show. Thank you, brother. We'll be seeing this boy right here, I believe, at the third annual regular season Rager at Reinvention Brewing, I believe. I think before we go too much farther, perhaps we should talk about this. Scott, go ahead, buddy. I can see you're holding your tongue. You love to talk. Just do it, dude. Just do it.
Are you talking about the Rager, Swank?
I am talking about the Rager, yeah.
Guys, those of you who follow us on social media, the event is out. We will plaster the Finger Lakes region with a whole bunch of posters letting you guys know everything about this Rager. But now that it's officially out as an event, I just can't wait for it, guys. September 2nd, Labor Day weekend on a Saturday at Reinvention Brewing Company. It's a 6-hour tailgate before the season actually starts. We have a barbecue truck in Blackheart Barbecue. We have the super vans coming. We have Mark Maddox coming to sign autographs, hang out with us. And man, it's just hanging out with him and having a conversation. He'll talk to everyone. And he'll sign something for everyone. He does a great job.
That is absolutely true. He is one of those dudes where, like, last year, man, no matter who you were, what you were, however, like, he sat there and talked to everybody. He's just walking amongst the people and joke around and sign stuff. He's just literally like, you know how they say, like, don't meet your heroes? He is the complete antithesis of that. Like, that dude is so amazing. any expectation you have of him, he'll triple it. And he's so humble, and he'll talk about the good old days. He'll talk about anything you want. So yeah, man, you're missing out if you don't come hang out with a legend.
Yep. And it's all to benefit his charity, the Help One Foundation.
Hell
We
yeah.
have 50-50 raffles, all that good stuff. Merchandise, awesome merchandise to give away that a lot of it's been donated from you guys, the fans, which you know how much we love you and we appreciate it. And we just love that you're a part of it. So it's a good time. And we're going to listen to some music, some rock music at the end of it, Swank.
Okay.
The Endless Mountain Derelicts
Hell
are going
yeah.
to be joining the party. So when me and Jarrod can kick back, relax, and put our feet up, you still got to work.
Hey man, I love it. It's all right. I love it.
But it's a kick-ass time, just like last year.
I'm gonna tell you, our new album will be out by then, and it'll be pretty fresh. So if you guys are interested in that, man, I'm getting a couple. I don't know if there's any vinyl spinners out there, but I'm getting a limited edition 100 press of the vinyl to start out, and then we're getting a bunch of CDs done up too, and it'll be online and everything. But it should be coming out in August, digitally at least. So that'll be something cool to look forward to. Don't forget, we also have live streams happening damn near all day, pretty near damn near all day. And of course, the three of us goons will be there. I'm sure we'll be accompanied by a plethora of very interesting and amusing guests that like to get rowdy throughout the day. It's one of my favorite parts of us doing the show there, to be honest. And we got Ryan Thomas from the Thomas Takes Sports podcast. He's going to be doing a show. We also have Justice General, who's going to be sitting down and doing some stuff, and maybe a couple other people's here. So stay tuned. Come hang out. Reinvention Brewing. There's a hotel. There's all sorts of stuff. You can crash in Jarrod's floor. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Got plenty of space.
Within 5 minutes, you're right, Swank. There's a couple hotels, couple motels. There's a lot of places to stay. The Canandaigua exit and the Manchester exit. So there's a plethora within 5 minutes of that venue. So
yeah. Well, we got a lot of news and a lot of stuff going on. We got people diving into it. Before we do that, should we give away these tickets?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Well, Jerry, you know what's going on with the tickets here? You want to do a little explanation quick?
So what happened was just yesterday we had Dr. Bruce McKellar ask us if we could have if we wanted 2 tickets to Sunday's 9:45 practice. And the first response I saw was Swank to Scott saying, "Hey, you want to give these babies away?" Scott's like, "Hell yeah." Dr. Bruce is like, "That's such a good idea. Let's do it." So that's what we did. We did a last minute share, tag 3 friends little post there, and we got about 20 or 30 people to do it up on Twitter and Facebook, and all the ats are at Twitter, and then all the regular names are Facebook. We're going to spin that baby, and what's going to happen is when you win, when you see your name, we want you, or we'll help you, contact Dr. Bruce McKellar, and he'll get them tickets to you for Sunday 9:45 a.m. practice.
Yes,
and
sir.
Speaking of Dr. Bruce Swank, I just want to throw this out there on 247buffpandemonium.com. He just put out a post updating all of us on the recent injuries of the offseason and what to expect during this training camp with the injuries coming in. He hit on everybody, which I love. So if you want to know what our injury report looks like going into training camp, 247buffpandemonium.com. Go to blog, check out Dr. Bruce's blog there. He did a great job. Thank you, Dr. Bruce.
Hell yeah, it's a great read. Great read. And everything you need to know going into training camp. You know what I'm saying? So right here, we're going to spin that wheel. Again, Dr. Bruce will transfer these over to you, I think, via email. So we'll get you all hooked up. Don't worry about it. And please make sure you can use these suckers. They are very, very hard to get. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Bruce, for donating them to our 24 Buff Fandemonium fam. Oh, and it's going to be a Facebook user, Ashley Ingandella. Ashley Ingandella.
Okay.
Hey,
Congratulations, Ashley.
Congratulations. You're going to the camp with somebody on Sunday. Take some
pictures.
Congratulations. Throw up some stickers. If you can slap Josh Allen on the back, put a 24/7 Buff Fandemonium sticker on him, please.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't matter where. If you have to slap him in the ass, you can do that too. But congratulations, Ashley. We'll contact you and we'll get that settled for you so you can enjoy that camp. 9:45 Sunday morning. Enjoy. Tell us all about it. Take some pictures, man. We love it.
Hell yeah. We got Ryan Hickman in the comments saying, well, but really it's wheel. What do we have here? Some sexy ass fellas here. I knew that about you, Ryan. What's up, buddy? How are you, man? Miss you. Glad to see you stop by.
What's up, Mr. Hickman? Hope you and the family are doing well. The little guy's got to be getting big.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Everybody's talking about Mr. Naeem Hines, so here we go. We're going to get right into it. There's some events that happened over the last couple of days that caused a couple transactions. Number one breaking news was that Mr. Naeem Hines was sitting on a jet ski and some idiot ran into his leg. I just saw actually that our boy Rob Mullen said the reports are he's getting surgery later this week, ACL in the left knee. He got slammed into. It's a non-football injury. He is placed on the reserve non-football injury list. The feeling is he is done for the season before it even starts. It's a heartbreaker. Jarrod, what do you got to say about this?
Yeah, it is something that is what Bills fans don't want to see right away before the training camp even starts. Something like this. Obviously, we're praying and hoping the best for Naeem Hines. You know, regardless, put football aside, we hope that he's doing fine and hope surgery's doing great. And then we hope that this young man can get back to his career, which we know he loves to do, play football. So first and foremost, let's, put the positive energy that way for him for a quick heal. But secondly, the football team, he didn't let anybody down. This was an injury that you couldn't prevent. He was jet skiing and someone hit him. So let's give him that and let's just move forward. I mean, this is a game that the next person has to step up, and let's be grateful that our Buffalo Bills leaders there brought people in this offseason to compete for that running back position and that kick return position. So Latavius Murray and Hardy and all those fellas, time to step up and get your spot and earn it. And quick heals for Naeem Hines.
Oh yeah, it's a horrible situation. It sucks so bad. But we do have Hardy on the roster. I think this helps him a little bit, and I think Latavius Murray probably just got a little bit of help solidifying a dressed role on the 53-man for game days. Scott, what do you got on this, buddy?
Not much more to add. They brought in Darrington Evans, a free agent that they signed, who could potentially land a special team spot now. I thought that fourth spot was going to go to a special teamer. Potentially him or Jordan Mims now are on the roster fighting for that spot. We are okay, Bills fans. We are fine. We, like Jarrod said, we developed a roster where if something like this were to happen, we're not that far off from replacing it. So best wishes to Naeem, but next man up. It is what it is.
That's the truth, man. It's a cold, cold world, man. And hopefully he's back next year, taking it to the house. He will go down in Bills history for that return alone, like 100%, right? So I really hope that he is back and he's better than ever next year, and we'll just have to see. But onward and upward, we did sign Darrington Evans. A little bit of history from the Chicago Bears. Not really a household name. We'll see what he can do. I think he's a body for camp, honestly. But we'll see. Along those same lines, 24/7 Buff Pandemonium also broke to you that we signed ex-Green Bay tight end Jace Sternberger. What a name, dude. What a name.
Both these guys
a lot
have
of football experience.
Yep.
Go ahead, Scott. I'll let you go through that.
Well, it might be a camp body, but someone that's going to help that tight end room. And they've got pretty good depth as far as I'm concerned. But this guy, I think if the Bills do, in fact, run the 12 personnel, we might be looking at more tight ends than we normally carry. So a nice big body guy that has experience always makes that training camp that much harder for these guys. And iron sharpens iron. This is the time of year we start saying it. It's the time of year we start watching it. So it's a good pickup. I'm glad with this one.
Yeah, looking at the bodies they have in that tight end room, I think that they're kind of showing their hand a little bit. I think they are planning on going a little more tight end heavy. I don't think they needed to pick this guy up. if they weren't gonna, you know what I mean? And I know
Right.
Kincaid, everybody says, well, yeah, obviously Kincaid, right? But geez, you still got Morris on the roster. There's plenty of tight ends on the roster, so it's interesting, and it might be a little telling.
Yeah, and
Let's
let's
see.
keep
And
in
I-
mind, Kincaid might be that slot receiver type guy too.
Yeah.
So they might use him more as a slot and then bring in another tight end. So
Ooh,
never know.
I'm so glad you said that because that's going to tie into the Rattle the Reeds. Yes, we're bringing back Rattle the Reeds. Season 4, Rattle the Reeds in a little
I
bit
apologize, Jared. I'm cutting you off a couple times.
No, it's all right.
It's
I'm
all
gonna
right.
let
He's
you
still
go
getting
every
in the
time you do.
rhythm, man. He's just getting in that rhythm. He's been gone a couple weeks.
So another thing to add to that is he has a lot of experience, played in USFL. He finished 4th in receptions last year in that league and 1st in touchdowns with 7. So sneaky guy to sneak in there. So we'll see. Sneaky.
Sneaky. I want to hit this really fast. Patrick Hughes says D. Cook, Hunt are still on the market. I thought for sure when Hines went down that maybe we would get a Cook backfield. He's still hanging out there. I watched some highlights of last season's games. There's a couple games I don't remember even happening that were really good games. But there's an hour and a half long 2022, 2023 Bills highlight reel that goes through like every play that was more than like 5 yards. And it's really good. It's a good watch if you're a nerd. But one of the things on there, man, I'm watching D Cook and I'm listening to all these analysts through like, now we're past the season. Now it's the off season. Now you're concocting all these things. D Cook gets cut. And I'm listening to all this garbage. And I watched him. And yes, he had that one big run, but there was some hard ass runs that dude did. like that he's not done. He is not washed. There's a lot in the tank still, I think. Hunt, come on, Patrick. You know how I feel about Hunt. I want nothing to do with that slob, man. That dude can rot. He can go to the CFL or whatever.
Yeah, we can keep all those domestic disputes on other teams.
Yeah. Also interesting, though, there's an allegation against Delvin Cook right now. His girlfriend's trying to say that he did a little something to her, threw her, pushed her, did something. So we'll have to watch that. But Rob Mullen says Morris versus Sternberger for tight end 3, legit 2022-23 season in the USFL. So it's there, man. I think they like Morris, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've talked about that. Hickman says he's hearing that Diggs' brother isn't happy. He's on the Cowboys. I understand that.
That's expected, right?
Yeah. Patrick Hughes, a few players starting camp on the PUP list. No surprise that Miller is on the PUP list. Dude, you are the king of segues, my man. Von Miller and Jordan Phillips, as well as Tyler Matakevich, all started on the active PUP list. For me, I don't think it's a whole lot to be worried about. I think Von, it was expected. Jordan Phillips, with his history from last season and even a couple seasons before, even if they are good to go, I think they're in the mindset of easing them into everything, especially since they're older, bigger players. Jarrod, what do you think about that?
Yeah, the PUP list, Sal Capaccio shared something awesome on Twitter today, letting everybody know what exactly goes on day one with the physicals and all that stuff. And when they get designated a certain PUP or IR, they'll let you know what's going on. If they're placed on the IR now, that means they're done for the season, apparently. But for the PUP, it's just to let them continue their therapies outside of, I think, the training staff that Buffalo's using, or just so they can still continue what they're doing now. That's what the PUP list is for. Is they're not going to be practicing or anything like that. They're just letting these individuals continue their therapies with what they're doing now. So that's what that means.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like you say, the mindset of the training staff for the Buffalo Bills and the coaching staff and everybody in the front office, all the way down to the water boys, like Ryan Hickman was referencing earlier. It's all about player safety. It's all about longevity. They play smart. They go with the sports science. This is no surprise to me. Scott, do you think Von Miller starts week 1?
That's tough because
Yeah.
I think
Beer
I
bet?
think
We need a
the-
beer bet on this. Beer bet.
beer
Yeah.
bet. Is this one already out there? This one's
I
not
don't think we
already out
have one
there.
yet. No, not for this.
I think the reason I'm saying it's tough is because I like the Leonard Floyd bring in, and I know he wasn't there to replace Von Miller.
Mhm.
Coach McDermott mentioned that, but I think depending on what we see maybe in preseason, maybe. But if we're making a bet, I'm going to say he's playing week 1. A lot of these veterans in the league, we already know, stay out of training camp for quite some time. So putting him on a pup list really doesn't tell me a lot for Von Miller because I know he's working hard doing his own thing right now as it is. So I'll say yeah. He'll be playing week 1.
All right. Let's say okay, so you got him starting week 1. Jerry, where are you at? Let me
As
hear it in
much
the
as I'd love
comments,
for
too.
him to, what's that?
I was saying, let me hear it in the comments too. What do you guys
All right,
think?
yeah. Let us know what you guys think. But yeah, if I was a betting man, which I'm going to be apparently right now for beer,
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that he's there for week 1, but I would expect him to be playing week 5. We brought in talent to replace him for a minute. I mean, you don't want to replace if they're all healthy. Obviously, Floyd isn't there to replace Von Miller, but yeah, I'd say week 5. He's not starting week 1. Let the other guys play a little bit, especially the guys you brought in. So I'll take that bet.
I mean, I'm leaning the way I did because of the whole rotation thing. He's not going to get
Mhm.
20, 50 snaps. If he gets 10, that's considered a good enough answer for me.
Oh,
for yes.
That's a good point, man. That's a little
That's a great
dip
point.
the toe in the water kind of thing. So either Jarrod's gonna get loaded up or you and I are gonna reign supreme, Scooter, because I think he's week 1, man. I think he's there week 1. There's a part of me that wants to say like optimistic Von that's been like this kind of like beaming light of hope for like himself and other players and all the stuff that he's kind of like committed to and said just in general about signing players or his health or anything else. Like, I mean, none of that means a whole lot because it's ultimately up to the doctors and the team, right? And they're not going to put him in harm's way. And if we're judging by what Trey did and where he was at, but Von is a beast. He's a different kind of cat, man. The dude's like Wolverine. Like he ate Wolverine, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for 1. I'm saying I'll stick week 1. So either Jarrod, you're gonna cash in, double down, or we're gonna get drunk.
Scott brought up a great point. You know, if you put someone on
Here we go.
IR,
He's going to change his mind.
No, he can't. It's already down.
No. I'm just going to say this. I'm saying I want him to start week 5 because I want him to take the time to actually heal 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, if you put him on IR, he's got to miss the first 4 games of the season. If you don't, and you sprinkle him in 10 plays here, week 1, 15 plays week 2, you know, if you're expecting week 2 or 3, don't put him on the IR where he's got to wait to week 5. Let him play a little bit. I love that. I love that that's a possibility. I'm when people say starting week 1, you're thinking he's going 100%. It doesn't have to be that. But for my sake, I'd like to see him come in week 5 when the Bills are already 4-0.
Hell yeah. I like it. We got Ryan Hickman said, no, he doesn't. Von, don't play till week 3. Jeremy Blair says, I say no, let him rest and come back 100% week 4 through 6. Hickman says 3 or 4. Let's see. Josh Cook says, I say week 4. Patrick Hughes says he starts week 2 for the home opener. Let's see. Dr. Bruce weighing in now. Here we have a medical professional weighing in, even though both of you guys are medical professionals as well. Pup for Miller was expected. I suspect he won't be ready week 1. We'll gradually get going mid-season and be rolling for the playoffs. That's a smart take, man. That's brain money right there.
Yep.
Scooter and I went with our hearts.
Ready for the playoffs. That means the Bills made the playoffs. So,
well, yeah, I mean,
if we got a guy
yeah.
going then, coming in, Von Miller making it there, that'd be freaking sweet. Perfect timing.
We got the amazing Paulette Brown asking what's going on with Diggs. He showed up day early. Patrick Hughes and I again going back and forth through the fantasy chat. I mean, what a bad teammate showing up early, just probably so that he can create chaos and trouble in the locker room. When I was looking at that, I only got through about a third, maybe, of those highlights I was watching today. And Jesus, man, Stefan Diggs is a beast.
He's special.
You can easily forget. Like, with all this downtime, you can sit there and try to forget all the good and just watch those highlights. That dude is a monster, a complete monster. And Josh Allen is a monster. Like, these dudes are out of control. There's no fear of him not showing up. He's there. I don't think there was a lot of fear of that anyway. If he's missing training camp, that is a even bigger fine. Across the NFL, Chris Jones is sitting out of training camp right now. I believe it's $50,000 a day. That
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yep. So 50 G's just because you're trying to prove a point because you want to be paid like Aaron Donald. I don't think Chris Jones is Aaron Donald. I don't think he plays to the caliber physically, emotionally, or mentally. And I also think he's kind of a scumbag. So
Yep.
There's that.
Well, that's
I want to
sad,
give.
'cause if
I
the
want to
running
give
backs skip
props.
out-
No, you were going right there, Scott. I think. Go ahead.
He's almost got it. He's almost got the rhythm. Hold on. He's almost got it.
If the running backs skip out, they can only miss 2 practices before they lose all of their salary for the year.
See, that was a good joke, man. Ah, jeez. Real fast, I skipped this comment just because I wanted to showcase it, and then a bunch of comments came in. Thank you guys so much. You're killing it right now, getting up over this viewership. It was a little we kind of like glided into this climb tonight, but appreciate all you guys. And don't forget, now we are part of the Buff Fan Base Network, as well as being sponsored by the one and only 26 Shirts. Go over to 26shirts.com. Dal Reed and the gang got all sorts of amazing shirts. Take your whole paycheck, give it just to sign it over to them, and take all the great shirts for all the great charities. But Ellen Lartz, camp beginning on Wednesday. What a birthday present for me. The beautiful, amazing Ellen Lartz has a birthday tomorrow. On her birthday eve, she's spending it with us, guys. What do you think?
Happy birthday.
We love you, Ellen, for sure. Happy birthday.
Love you to death. Happy birthday, Ellen. All right, let me see. Now I got to get back here. Oh, are you guys watching that quarterback show on Netflix?
Sarah and I started watching a little bit of the Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it in front of all these Bills fans, but so far, these guys are real people, and to see what happens on the outside of football makes you respect them a little bit more. And Sarah likes Kirk Cousins the best out of all 3 of them.
Yeah, he's a dork. Holy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She loves him.
But he's great. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that Netflix is doing. It's going to bring people into the reality of football players outside of football, and it's awesome. So a whole new respect for those quarterbacks on that show.
That show is showing a side of football that we don't get access to even with Hard Knocks. It is very, very intimate and very telling. I think like when we see like the media conferences and stuff like that, they have a like the good quarterbacks have a pre-programmed like response, and that's what they give you. And I think like most of them have been conditioned and they believe it for the most part. But there is that part of them where like there's that like dog. Like Sarah and I watched the first 2 episodes, and there's that one, oh God, the Raiders big defensive end, starts with M, right?
Crosby?
Mason Crosby. No, not Mason Crosby. Max Crosby, right?
Max.
Yeah.
Max Crosby. Max Crosby. Have you been watching it, Scott, or no?
No, I haven't. I
Oh,
haven't
God.
got into it yet.
You should check it out. I'll say this.
What?
I still don't like Mahomes ever when we play him. He is a person. His wife totally still sucks 100%. She's the worst. Like the worst. I hate her. I can't listen to her. But Max Crosby, when the Chiefs are playing the Raiders, he keeps going in and he keeps getting little extra hits on Mahomes, and he's jawing at him. And there's this one point where he punches Mahomes like after the play's over for not even near him. plays blown dead and he punches him.
Mm-hmm.
And Mahomes says something about it. And then he gets hit again, and then all of a sudden it like black out Mahomes, and he went off, like destroyed them. And listen to his Kermit the Frog voice be like, yeah, and then I just saw black, and then I was like, well, I'm here.
I'm here.
Kermit the Frog here. Kermit the Frog here. Patrick Mahomes here.
Anyway, it's a good series, man. I actually just heard that Justin Fields turned it down for season 2. They wanted him, and he said no, presumably because it would be a distraction. So, let's see here, man. So many great things going on. So, do you guys want to do a little rattle the reads right now?
I'm kind of nervous about this.
Sounds fun.
This is a segment. Huh?
I was contemplating just doing a quick stat run through just random stuff, but I was like, no, let's just wait.
Yeah, I'm throwing you a curveball anyway.
Yeah.
It's about soccer. Just kidding. This is a segment on the show called Rattle the Reads. I need to make a graphic for it. I was just bitching to Scott before we went live about that. I try to stump them. Usually it's a list of stats, and I try to make them name players or name teams or whatever else. This is actually about a game from last season. Okay. A specific game. And I'll say 4 significant things happened in this game. They were firsts for 3 players. And then another thing that was significant. And I got to check and make sure, but I think it was also a first for Josh Allen, at least for the season. The game is the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
Now, when I watched this game, what do you guys remember from that game?
I remember Gabe Davis just going crazy.
Davis
Strengthening a touchdown pass over Minka Fitzpatrick. That 98-yard touchdown pass.
That's one of the things tied on Buffalo Bills record for the longest touchdown in Bills history, 98 yards, Mr. Gabe Davis. The other 3 things that I am referencing, okay, happen to be 3 rookies got a first.
Okay, did Kyrie Elam get an interception?
Kyrie Elam did get his first interception in that game.
James Cook touchdown?
James Cook scored his first NFL touchdown in that game.
And then Christian Benford get an interception that game?
No.
Okay, I just went rookie there.
Not to my knowledge.
It was confident, Scott. Gabe Elam.
This is something that I don't think many people remember, and it was interesting to me. One of the things that I'm on, I don't know if it was the first game of the season for Josh Allen where he threw for over 400 yards. I believe it was for the season. Okay. That was the thing I was on the fence about. Also, he threw for 4 touchdowns that game. Significant. There's one other rookie that did it a career first. Any ideas? It's interesting.
It's an interesting first. Offense or defense?
Offense.
Oh, this is tough.
Does it have to do with Shakir?
It does.
Was it Shakir's first touchdown?
It was Khalil Shakir's first touchdown. Does anybody remember that?
I think it was against the far sideline. I do.
Now.
I think it was on the far sideline.
Yeah, nobody's talking about it. And this kid is like a kid that like we all got very hyped on, and then it kind of like fizzled. I feel like it simmered. I feel like after that Miami game and stuff like that, where it was kind of like, yeah, we're trying to get through. We're trying to get to. Everybody's thinking playoffs, And nobody was really thinking about Khalil Shakir, I feel like. And maybe I'm wrong, and tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm going to say that touchdown, when he came on in that game, the catches that he made, the plays that he made, holy shit. Like, that dude is serious depth on this, if not completely competing for that slot position. If he can learn other routes, he could be pushing on Gabe a little bit.
Right.
I'd also say this about watching those highlights, and I, again, highly recommend everybody goes and watches them. It'll make you feel a little bit better, I think, than all the garbage that you've been hearing for the last couple months. Gabe Davis, before he got hurt, oh my God, he was a beast, an absolute beast. And that Pittsburgh game was not like, it wasn't all of it. The Rams game, first touchdown throw of the season, Gabe Davis, picking up right where he left off, like just insane. And he's somebody that has the work ethic, and when healthy, I just don't, I think that you could see him be what we wanted him to be last year. And I don't really think anybody's given him too much of a look this year. They think he's going to get superseded. And I don't think that's the case. What do you guys think about that?
If I read these stats off to you, would you think this is a pretty good season by a number 2 wide receiver with an injury? 48 receptions, 836 yards, receiving 7 touchdowns, 17.4 average, and a long of 98, all on a guy with a bummed ankle.
Yep.
His best season of his career. Number 2 receiver. That's Gabe Davis with an injury.
Yeah, just over 100 yards away from 1,000-yard season as a second-year wide receiver with Stephon Diggs as your number 1 guy. Yeah, those are good numbers, and I think it's because of the injury, and I think it was because of the hype that we were coming in the last year with Gabe Davis, thinking, oh my God. I mean, I think people were expecting double his numbers, but as a number 2 receiver, you aren't going to do that. But I agree with you, Swank. I think this is a very quiet media and fan base in regards to this wide receiver core. They bring in Trent Sherfield and Hardy, and that kind of makes Shakir kind of disappear a little bit with the talk of Dalton Kincaid being a slot wide receiver. Well, you can't forget what we had in Shakir, and a guy that's in a rookie last year where we know that McDermott and company really don't like to play their rookies.
Yeah.
And he shined. He did shine. He showed he could do a lot.
I think that's a myth. I think that
the rookie thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that it's not a myth. I think it's one of those things that we made a bigger deal about it when it was happening. Then if you go back and look at it, it's like, okay, when James Cook fumbled that ball, how many games was he out? He got benched.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He played the next week.
Right.
We had the game handled, but he played the next week. So in my mind, when I'm thinking about that, all I remember is McDermott doesn't play rookies. James Cook messed up. He didn't even get going until halfway through the season. You watch those highlights, he's got runs, and maybe some of it's in garbage time. He was getting playing time. He was showing sparks. That's how he beat out Motor to get more touches or equal touches halfway through the season. And if you're watching Motor to the beginning of the season, he is a beast. And for James Cook to climb the ranks and build that trust back and get those opportunities to overcome that and beat out Motor, Motor was running better than he'd ever ran in Buffalo last year. Like he just toughness, physical, whatever. Aside from the drops and the fumbles, but I mean, the highlight reel was very impressive. He just was smoking people and moving piles, and that's Motor. But like to look at it and think like, okay, rookies don't get opportunities, and there you are, Elam's out there, Benford's out there, you got Shakir getting snaps, you got Cook out. It's just like they're there, I tell you, one of the other things that was cool about it was watching Hamlin make plays. He was getting decent playing time before all that stuff happened, man. And he was smoking people and being there and being the physical guy.
Some plays he was this close.
Yep.
And you know what one more year of experience does, right? it closes at.
All right, I got to address this. Ryan Hickman, let me get this straight. Fred Jackson canvas in the background, but no Bruce Smith. I'm a little offended. I have all of my stuff packed up because my wife and I moved. We sold our house and we're building a new house. I'm actually coming to you live from my parents' basement right now. And, it feels like old high school Swank. It's great. It has been great. But, yeah, all my stuff's packed up, buddy. You know I love it. You out of your mind? You out of your goddamn mind, Ryan Hickman?
Yeah, damn it.
He says, Derek Swank, I no longer want to look like you. You've hurt my feelings. He was talking about growing his beard out like me. You need the testosterone.
I can't see that on Ryan. No, I could see him as a nicely shaved guy. I can't see that thing hanging off him. Like it works for you, Swank. I don't see it working for Ryan.
What's the next comment?
He said, "Oh man, he's got a million of them here." He says, "Just like you fumbling the Bruce Smith background autograph, Derek Swank, you fumbled." He says, "Boo," and then I get,
how rude.
I miss you, man. See, Rob Mullen says James Cook led the 2022-23 NFL season in yards per carry at 5.7. That's true, man. That's true. He, I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this year, and he's got a lot to prove. And his foresight and the way he sees the field, cuts he makes, it's going to be real fun, man. I want to see him get passes out of the backfield. I think that's going to be the thing that he's just going to go.
And with a Hines injury, Hines was someone that could definitely provide that scat back type running style.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's Latavius Murray and Damian Harris, who are more power backs and could provide. They still can provide the RPO running, but I think a little more is now going to be put on James Cook's shoulders without that scat back in the backfield to replace him, dispel him if need be.
Yeah, I think it's still okay though, because like with Latavius and Harris, they're like so similar in the way they run, and that style running is so much more physical. I could see you getting more worn down, running between the numbers, bowling a pile over, taking on hits and linebackers and linemen and everything else. James Cook's slippery, man, and he's got style. Man, that first touchdown run, oh my God, he just zip zip zip. It reminded me of like a less jittery Shady McCoy. You know what I mean?
He gets through the hole and he's got daylight. He knows what to do with it.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, here we are at 8:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, reminding you that the K-Gun Report is part of the Buff Fan Base Network and also brought to you by 26shirts.com. Go check out all the great stuff they got on sale over there at 26shirts.com. All right. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say they had a lot to offer, and as you guys know, that they do a charity every week for a different charity, different shirt, and it's pretty awesome what Dalreed's doing over there.
Yeah, we're hoping maybe he might make an appearance at the Rager. We'll see. So, with 12 minutes left in the show, I wanted to talk a little bit about training camp here going forward, and who are you most keeping an eye on, or what position are you guys most keeping an eye on? And Jerry, you want me to start with you, Jerry? I think I'm going to start with you.
You make life a lot easier because I know I had 4 guys written down that I'd like to talk about, but I'm just going to go with one. Dorian Williams is going to be an interesting watch this season, this training camp. He comes from a 4-2-5 defense. He's familiar with it. It's going to be awesome to watch when they actually can have media coverage to see how he adapts at that position with the speed of the NFL. It's going to be fun to see if Sean McDermott plays him in the middle linebacker right away, or if he goes outside. So he's going to be a guy you want to watch because he's one hell of an athlete that can tackle and he plays hard. So I'm looking forward to watching and hearing about Dorian Williams this training camp.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Great call. I tell you, I'm interested in that, but as a part of that, what's McDermott going to do with the linebacking core? What's it going to look like? You know what I mean? I expect to see a lot more blitzing. I expect to see, I don't know, something new. And I think when Mark Maddox was on, we were talking about with Tremaine's exit, kind of feeling like that guilt or feeling indifferent about like letting a player like that go with the physical characteristics that he has and the skills that he's developed, letting him go, but kind of feeling at ease because there were limitations to what he could do or what he could do in this scheme. And I'm wondering now with Dorian Williams, he seems more of like a Matt Milano body type. And I think in this day and age in the NFL, you kind of need like a more lean kind of athletic linebacker of his stature. You know, if we can get another Matt Milano out there, I'm fine. Go nuts. Scott, what do you think?
And to go off that real quick, Swank, a lot of people are knocking him from being small, but he's only 1 inch shorter and about 10 pounds lighter than the average middle linebacker in the NFL. So he's got what it takes, and I love the fact that McDermott brought in the guy I think he wants to run that defense. I'm going offensive line, and this is going to be a surprise because I'm a quarterback guy, and we have a lot of issues, not issues, but a lot of talk about the linebacker and the offensive guard position. Right now, Osiris Torrance is ranked as the number 2 guy, but for obvious reasons, he's a rookie. He needs to come in and prove himself for training camp. But I think that's going to be given for him. I think you don't use your second round that high of a pick and have the guy sit, especially a guy that's that massive, that has that resume in college and a past pro style offense. I think he starts. What I'm watching is the guy in the 7th round in the 2023 draft this year is Nick Broker. This guy on a lot of mock drafts was ranked the 2nd, 3rd best guard in the league. And I know the Buffalo Bills brought in Connor McGovern and David Edwards, but the 3 preseason games is gonna prove that Nick Broker potentially could be the starting left guard for this offense. And I know I'm going for the small guy here, and he's got a big hill to climb. But you watch his film, you see what kind of offense he played in, and he's a pretty solid guy. Watch that matchup. You're going to watch him in the first preseason game against the Colts, come in the 3rd stringers, and he's going to demand the attention, and he's going to get it, and he's going to prove himself worthy, and he's going to keep bumping up. Nick Broker is the guy to watch for me.
Going deep on the roster, Mr. Scott Reed.
Like it. I like it.
Sweet. I mean, that's what all this is, right? And with the new rules, they don't have to trim down to the 53 until the very end, right? So this is awesome. You're going to get some of these guys that were drafted late, that were undrafted free agents, that might get a shot to pick up some of these last couple spots on this roster. Again, we preach it every week. The team is so good. Not only like people that you cheer for, people that you like, established veterans are going to be cut from this team because they're just trying to dial in that last little bit to get that longevity to get through the playoffs and bring a Super Bowl home to Buffalo. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about everything, you know, roster wise and what you want to do. You guys listening at home, I'm talking to. For me, man, Shorter is very, very intriguing to me. I don't know where he fits into this wide receiving lineup. I know Bean was big on him. He's a big body guy. I like that like loose DK Metcalf kind of comparison, a big target in the end zone for Josh. It's all very, 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 very intriguing. And a special teams guy, you know, I think he makes the roster. I'm interested to see him. I'm going to go for the low-hanging fruit, though. Dalton Kincaid better be everything advertised.
Yeah.
He better be everything that everybody wants him to be. There's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of hype. He seems like a really level-headed kid just from the little bit that we've seen. I think him and Dawson are getting along well. There's actually an embedded Buffalo Bills like Hard Knocks series that they put on in-house that is airing tonight that I think features Kincaid and Knox from what I understand from the radio earlier today. So go on YouTube and check that out. I will be doing that right after the K-Gun report. Of course, don't do it right now. You know, wait a couple minutes. You know. Yeah, Kincaid, I'm really interested to see what he's going to do, how he's going to perform, how him and Josh bond. I think Josh does a really good job of like connecting with wide receivers and targets. I don't know. Is there a lot of examples of him not being on the same page with a wide receiver or target, really? I mean, he's done so much with so little in the beginning of his career, and then with John Brown and Beasley coming in and like experienced guys, but like two completely different wide receivers that both had a good hookup with him. And then of course Diggs, Davis, those balls aren't off target. Any of the drops that Davis has are on him usually. Even again, when I was watching those highlights, not to go back to it, and Patrick Hughes, yeah, that is homework. All of you guys better watch that hour and a half reel of highlights before next week. Isaiah McKenzie looked like a stud the first half of the season. He absolutely looked great as a third option. He looked amazing. Multiple touchdowns through a couple weeks. I know Paulette will agree with me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I really want to see what Kincaid's made of, and I really want to see what Dorsey's got up his sleeve, man. This is going to be a whole different ball game. I think last year he held on to Dable's offense a little bit, and I think going into this year it's going to be a whole new thing.
A lot of weapons this year.
Yeah,
a lot of weapons. And going back on the shorter conversation, this Nyheim Hines injury might add another wide receiver to the depth chart, because now we have Hardy and Sherfield back there that can do kick returns. So Nyheim Hines' injury doesn't only affect the running back spot, but it affects the wide receiver spot too. And watch them all. Shorter's going to be a fun one to watch.
I was going to say, Shorter's my honorable mention, guys. He is someone that you should keep an eye on. And I think honestly, I think he's going to be an Isaiah Hodgins kind of let's not make that mistake again kind of thing, letting the size disappear from the roster in the red zone, especially since the red zone issues that we had last year. You got to utilize that size, that strength.
Hell yeah. Well, boys, I mean, it's 8:57. It's like we're getting syndicated or something. It's like we're right on time. I don't know what to do with myself. I kind of want to force it into overtime, just because Jerry hasn't been here in a little while, and but organically, we got to force it in organically. You can't just jam it,
Right.
So if I'm looking at the defensive side and the offensive side of the balls, which side do you think has a longer journey to getting to where they need to be to win a Super Bowl? Is the defense closer or is the offense closer? And I'll start with Scott. I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with who's running it. Is McDermott in a position to make this defense better immediately? And is Ken Dorsey going to improve and fix the things that we all saw were missing from last year's offense? So I don't think it's a personnel as far as offense and defense goes. I'm going to say it's the coaching. Right now, I'm going to say it's the offense, because I think McDermott does have a big understanding of how this defense can function. He's done it before. He's been successful before. He's turned bad defenses into good defenses. I'd be very interested to see what he does with a good defense, because he doesn't have far of a journey to make this a better defense. So I think it's aggressive style, and the defensive lineman that we have is going to benefit this defense completely and make a very good improvement. They were good last year, really good last year. But I think you're going to see a more aggressive defense, and I think you're going to see more opportunities for this offense to score touchdowns. And again, that's going to be all reliable. Going to rely big time on Ken Dorsey.
Good point. Jarrod?
This is a loaded question, I think. They're both pretty much almost there, but I'm going to have to – who's our quarterback? Mr. Josh Allen?
Mm-hmm.
I've said it a couple weeks ago. Last year, Devin Singletary was the guy for the running back position. James Cook had a lot to learn. If Devin Singletary was still on the team this year, James Cook would be leaping him for RB number 1. I think we've improved at running back. I think we've improved at the wide receiver position. We have a lot of young talent in there. ready to learn and go. We have a stacked tight end room now. It's going to be nice to watch to see where the offensive line falls. We got a lot of leadership, a lot of veterans on that team, and Josh Allen has more toys to play with a healthy elbow. So I think that offense is right there, ready to go for the Super Bowl. But if you flip it over on that defense, man, I think they're with a healthy secondary, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer back there. I think we're pretty damn close. And like Scott said, let's see where McDermott takes it.
Here we go, folks. We're in overtime. That's right. We're in overtime. And Patrick, thank you and Rob Mullen for counting it down the way you did. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful family we got here.
Keeping us on our toes. Keeping it. Hey, thanks, guys.
Yeah. Keep the show running smooth, man. Appreciate all you guys, man. I think both sides of the ball, it's interesting. Everything's still close. I do think McDermott, whether you want to say he's got to knock the rust off from not being a DC for so long, but he's had his thumb in the pie this whole time. I think he did let Leslie operate, but I think there's more than one time an example of when he said, no, like we need to do this. And when he did that, things got better. So I'm looking for all those little times to be the whole time. And I think McDermott's going to have this defense running on all cylinders. I heard a guy on WGR today talking about, he was from ESPN. He was talking about how he didn't know about the secondary, even though with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer back there, they're getting older, and you got Von Miller's getting older, and you got Floyd who came in. But really the line's unproven. The secondary is old and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, I completely 100% disagree with you. I think there's a changing of the guard that's coming in. I think there's a rotation that's coming in. I think, yes, you're going to have your veteran leaders out there, but they do have a stable of young, talented, athletic players that are right behind these guys that have been learning from these guys. And, you also have kind of like shortcuts like Floyd. He doesn't need to learn anything. I mean, I'm sure he'll be happy to be with Von Miller again and to talk his ear off, but does he need to absorb every little ounce of thing like a rookie does, or like a Rousseau did, or an Epinesa? Like, it's not the same. He's already got his style of play down, and he's productive. So to say that, like, I don't know, I just didn't like the way he phrased it. I think that this is a very well mixed defense that has been in the top 5, top 3 for a long time. And I don't know. I don't have as many worries about them, especially since Sean McDermott's calling plays now. Ken Dorsey, on the other hand, I think he took over a really good situation, and I think that he needs to really prove himself this year. I don't think he did a bad job. I think he's getting a lot of crap because people gave Dable too much credit for the offense. So my answer to this question would be that the defense is closer to where they want to be. The offense is still figuring out where they want to be, especially with all these new toys they got.
Yep. I mean, go ahead and take a look on some depth charts and look at our second stringers on defense.
Yeah.
A lot of them have starting experience. A lot of them came from teams where they were starters. So you can take away the Russos, Jones, Oliver, Miller, Milano, all them, and bring in our backups, and that's a legit starting defense. Offense, we could be there. Which is, like you said, they have to mend a lot more than the defense does as far as play calls go. So, yeah, it'd be fun to watch. But I agree with you, Swank.
I'm really excited to see Rap.
Yeah.
A lot of talk has been on Rap, and that'd be, if I'm going to throw honorable mention, watch this guy on this offseason. I mean, this training camp. We got the Poyer and Hyde back there. They're getting older, yes. They're our captains. They're very productive. They play well together. But keep your eye on Rap, because if something does happen, knock on wood, it doesn't, he's going to be able to fill in, and his level is high. So it's going to be exciting to watch him.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot to consider here. And if you're historically looking at Sean McDermott's team, year 3 is really like the year that like people really start to blossom and get their opportunities. If you're looking at Josh, Tremaine Edmonds really started to come into his own. You know, I mean, Ed Oliver, if you want to go that way. I'm looking at like Epinesa and Groot and those guys and Boogie, like year 2 under the Vaughn system, like it's time for these dudes to put up or shut up, and I think Groot is going to be, he's not going to want to give up his position, and you got, I don't know. I just think with Oliver getting his extension, the interior of that defensive line really getting like kind of shored up, confidence wise, money wise. You got Puna in there. Like that to me is like a very integral part of this. And then these wild young guys on the end that have had enough time to now get their shit together. This is the year. This is it. Like otherwise, it's back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? You've invested way too much money in this defensive line for it not to be 100% dominant this season.
Right.
So
Exactly.
Now that it's 9:06 p.m., I think we've fully made our quota for overtime speak on the K-Gun Report for this fine Tuesday evening. And we love all you guys, and thanks so much for participating, all the comments and the jokes, and we love you guys. So we're going to do some final thoughts. We're going to start with our boy Jarrod Reed down south there on the bottom of your screen, and take her away.
Day 1 camp started with everybody coming in and doing their physicals, the rookies. It's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing. Here we go. The season's going to start, and this is going to give the K-Gun Report and the Fandemonium more to talk about week in and week out, and it's exciting. Can't wait to watch the films. Can't wait to track down all these reporters to see what's going on. Here we go, guys. Get ready. Yeah, I'm glad to be back talking football with you guys. It's always exciting to sit here and just go back and forth with you, and especially the Fandemonium, seeing all their comments, and I love it. Next week, we're looking for Mark Maddox to join the party.
Hell yeah.
Join in, and then we'll have Mark joining us, and we'll talk more football 1 week with camp under our belts, and I can't wait for it. So take care. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week for the K-Gun Report. Go Bills.
Nicely done. Patrick Hughes with a quick question. Derek Swank, quick questions. Are we going to get a preseason Sunday sessions? No, we are not. We talked about it. We'd love to. We all just got way too much going on. So the first Sunday sessions is going to be actually a Monday sessions for the New York Jets game. And that'll be about an hour and a half before kickoff. So you can look forward to that. Scooter, what do you got for a final thought?
Hey guys, we have under 3 weeks until that first preseason game against the Indianapolis Colts, and then we can start evaluating and talking on the K-Gun Report about what we think. Again, this is a fan-first perspective, guys. You're getting our honest opinions. We love the game of football. We love our Buffalo Bills, and we love your comments coming in, but it's fun to have that conversation. I did see someone earlier today ask a question about the PUP list and what that means for Von Miller. Right now, a PUP list means you're inactive for 4 weeks. And after that 4 weeks is up, then the team has to make a decision whether they're going to cut you, whether they're going to put you on IR, or whether they're going to put you on the active roster. So 4 weeks actually puts us, I think, 2 weeks before the beginning of the season. So Von Miller could still practice with the team for those 2 weeks before the game starts. But guys, 3 weeks. We're 3 weeks away from Bills football. We're only 2 weeks away from NFL football when they open up with that Hall of Fame game. And speaking of Hall of Fame, I know we don't have much to do about it, but we have a lot to say about it. Steve Tasker has been brought back in through the senior committee. They've got to get it right. They've got to get it right. I think he's a guy that deserves it. Hit up every social media you can. Put Steve Tasker in the Hall of Fame on Twitter. He's a guy that's been following and pushing for Steve Tasker this whole time. Let's be loud. Let's be loud about it. He deserves it, and I love it. So I'm rooting for him. That'd be amazing.
Hell yeah. Who doesn't want to see Steve Tasker in the Hall of Fame? I mean, come on. Hey, it's easy. Hey, come on. It's easy. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of this. Do not forget about the 2023 regular season Rager live at Reinvention Brewing. We're going to have Mark Maddox. We're going to have super fans. We're going to have live streams. We're going to have barbecue. We might have a popcorn truck. I don't know. We're waiting on that. We might even have a popcorn truck. You're going to have raffles with all sorts of authenticated, autographed gear. I'll leak something right now. We got a Doug Flutie jersey, autographed. The main door prize, our boy Scooter Magooter hooked this all up. What do we got for the main door prize? Just with your entry fee, just for the $5 it takes to walk in the door, you automatically get entered to win
A Red Rush Josh Allen signed autograph jersey already in the shadow box. So it's all laid out and pretty for you.
I mean,
that's yours for $5. You get entered to win that for sure.
$5 and all the cool stuff that's going on, man. It really is a great time, and we'd love to see all of you there. All the people that we meet, the 2 years that we've done it previous, and then last year for me it was like the pinnacle, man. It was just so great. So please come on out, hang out, have a great time. As always, you can catch us every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here for the K-Gun Report on Facebook, Tweeters, YouTubes. You can go over to the Buff Fan Bases Network. You can catch us over there. Don't forget to go get some shirts at 26shirts.com. We love all of you guys. And guess what, man? Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go